Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Very good morning, everyone. Nila, are you here? Vitri, are you here? Okay, all right. Okay, so everything okay in UP?
Yes, Dr. Rafida, yeah, everything is okay.
All right. Assalamualaikum. Very good morning,
Yes.
everyone.
Okay.
Nila, are you here? Okay, we will start shortly. All right. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back to all students and facilitators. Okay, please share the Zoom link. Okay, with your friends. All right, with your Go Global friends in your WhatsApp group. Okay, remind them if they're still not here to join the Zoom, not the YouTube. Okay, please join Zoom. Okay, we will start shortly. Okay, all right. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome. Okay, it's already 12 o'clock. Nila and Vitri. All right, is everything okay?
Okay, yes.
Yes, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so students and everyone, so this time around our webinar session, the fourth one, this is the fourth webinar after about 3 months break, okay, for the semester break. Okay, Nila, why is my, all right, is everything okay? Yes, Alhamdulillah. I don't know why is it. Okay, so student,
Feedback, yeah.
and everyone. Okay, all right. So for this week webinar, the fifth one, the fourth one. So this time around will be conducted by University Pahlawan. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to our moderator for the day. From University Pahlawan, Miss Ayu, is that you, the moderator? No.
Oh, Miss Hani.
Oh, Hani, sorry. Okay. Okay. So Hani, are you here? Where is
Hani.
Hani here? I can't see her. I can see Vitri is here. Okay. Where are you? Wanda is here. Where is Hani? Reski is here. Hani, are you with us? Can't see Hani.
Hani, kok hilang Hani?
I can't see Hani here. Where is she?
Sorry, Miss Rafida, maybe we should wait for Miss Hani because the connecting is not good.
Dr. Rafida.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Sheha.
Waalaikumsalam, Miss Nila.
How are you doing?
Okay, fine, thank you. How about you all?
We are doing fine here, pretty busy.
Okay.
Many times I didn't respond Dr. Rafida's messages on time.
I see. Yeah, I can
Sorry
only
for that,
imagine.
Rafida.
Yeah. I think it's the same here also. Okay, all of us are very occupied, especially this semester with a lot of new changes coming up, okay, and so on. Yes. So we're not about to start yet, is it?
Yes, we are about to start now.
Okay then. Okay, all the best to everyone.
Oh, udah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yep, Honorable Dr. Sheha, Dr. Rafida, and faculty members, Honorable our speakers and all participants on this activity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Hanisa Haris, your moderator of
Cari kan nggak bagus ya.
the activity. How to start our activity. On Go Global 2020.
We are very sorry, there is internet connection problem. So for the past few weeks, our province is impacted by heavy rain and there is a phenomenon that I forgot the name. So sometimes there is a blackout happening here.
Okay. We start again, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Honorable Dr. Rafida, Honorable Dr. Sheha, and faculty members.
We are very sorry, there is internet connection problem. So for the past few weeks, our province is impacted by heavy rain and there is a phenomenon that I forgot the name. So sometimes there is a blackout happening here.
Oh, we were so sorry because of our connection is very bad recently. Well, let's start again. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable Dr. Sheha, Honorable Dr. Rafida, and faculty member, Honorable our speaker, and all participants on this activity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Hanisa Haris, your moderator of today's activity. We're very delighted to see you and welcome all of you in this activity on Go Global 2022 program implementation collaboration between UP, IPB, UITM, CNS. Today's activity is about how to write personal statement and CV. But before we are going to start our activity, allow us to introduce our amazing speakers. Today, they are Mrs. Nila Kusumawati, ASCAP Nurse MPH CDWN, and Mrs. Dr. Chitra Ayu MPD. Well, for your information, Mrs. Dr. Chitra Ayu MPD, she's got Bachelor of English Literature from Bung Hatta University in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. And she also got Master of English Education in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. And recently, she got a doctoral degree from Universitas Negeri Padang in Padang. She do some research and publication which focus on education. And now she is one of English lecturers in our university. Well, without further ado, please welcome our first speaker, Mrs. Dr. Chitra Ayu MPD, to present about how to write personal statement. Please welcome Mrs. Chitra Ayu.
Okay, thank you for moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nice to meet you all. Okay, good morning, dear faculty member of UITM Malaysia, student from UITM, and student from UP. Thank you very much for UITM and UP for the opportunities in this program. And today I'm going to share about how to write personal statement. Okay, here my slide, how to write a personal statement. Before we come to how to write a personal statement, we have to know first about what is personal statement itself. Okay, personal statement is a personal statement and account of your achievement, talent, interest, and goal. Often include in a job or university application or on resume. Okay, personal statement for university and job have a similar content, but university personal statement are usually longer and more detailed. Okay, next. After we know about the meaning of personal statement, we come to the step how to write a personal statement. Here, first, brainstorming. The brainstorming phase is when you come up with different ideas to mention in your personal statement or decide what the main topic will be if the prompt is open. So we know that we have to identify your ultimate objective. It means that first you have to identify what you want to accomplish with your statement. So you can do in this step. Okay, next step. After doing the brainstorming, we come to preparing. In this step, the preparation or outline phase. Take ideas from brainstorming, organize them into a framework for your first draft. In this step, you have to write on introduction as best as you can. So you have to write down all of your idea in this step. Okay, next we come to the third step, how to write a personal statement. There are drafting. In the drafting, phase is usually the longest and most involved. It's the part of writing your personal statement. Where you actually write your personal statement, your true draft or first draft doesn't need to be perfect. Writing a true draft is just about getting your ideas down. It means that you have to write down all of your ideas in drafting, and then you can select which one is better for you to put on a personal statement. Okay, next. After we do 3 steps of writing a personal statement, we come to the 4th step, revising. As before, I said that you have to write down all of your idea, and then you come to the 4th step, revising. Revising is when you, when you focus on the fine detail, first choosing the perfect words, and then rearranging the structure. Third, reread your personal statement, and the last, fix any areas that need improvement. It means that you have to create a strong conclusion for your personal statement. Okay, next. We come to the proofreading. In the proofreading with your personal statement, please, you can begin proofreading. This is when you fix all the technical problem like spelling and grammar mistakes, as well as other general issues like formatting. In this step, you have to check all of the mistakes that you have made, and then you have to select accurately about the writing, grammar mistake, and etc. Okay, next, Miss Hani. After finish writing a personal statement, you have been finished follow the all step. We come to the last to submit your personal statement. Okay, in submitting, tune in your personal statement. Double check that you've fulfilled the requirement, including what count, and make sure it's in the requested format, PDF, Word, document, and etc. Next. Okay. Now, in writing a personal statement, there are 5 things that we have to remember. First, your writing skill. Include grammar, punctuation, sentence structure, expression, and so on. Second, the relationship between your previous education or experience and your life goal. Third, your philosophy of the chosen field and why you choose this field. Four, what makes you unique and how you can contribute to the program. 5, how you can be an asset to the university both now and in the future. I think that's all about my explanation about how to write a personal statement. Okay, I give back to the moderator, Hani.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Chitrayu, for giving such an informative presentation for all of us. Next, allow me to present our second speaker, Mrs. Nila Kusumawati, ASCAP nurse MPH WN. She got a Bachelor of Science of Nursing and Nurse Profession from Andalas University in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. And she also has received Master of Public Health from Georgia State University, USA. And she also has some research and publication, whether international and local. And she also received some rewards. For example, at international level, she got Ambassador's Awards for Excellence given by Dr. Dino Patujalal, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, the Embassy of the Republic Indonesia for United States of America. And at the local level, she received Best Lecture given by our university. And now she is a public health and nursing lecturer as well as a head of international relation office in our university. Well, Ms. Nila, please welcome to give a presentation about how to write a CV.
Thank you very much, Hani. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. I really hope that you're doing fine right now. Dr. Rafida, you're very busy organizing this event, and Dr. Prof. Shannon, and Dr. Sheha, and the faculty members of UITM Malaysia, and our faculty members and students here, and staff of International Relations Office of Universitas Palawan Tuanku Tambusai. Okay, for today's presentation, I have to present about how to write CV. Hani, would you like to make me a co-host because I could not share my screen? Okay. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint presentation? Yes? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Before I present and share about how to write a CV, I would like to know who of you who have been writing a CV and sending it to a company or to schools that you applied for maybe a few times ago. Is there of you who has written a CV before? Yes? Dr. Rafida, did you send a CV to UITM when you applied for a job there?
Yes, of course, many, many times.
Many, many times. Yes, many, many times. Okay. Now, I don't have any idea, but I do believe students, you have already written a CV and then send them maybe to a conference that you are applying, or maybe to a school of UITM here. So now I would like to present a little bit about how to write a CV. I do believe that most of you have already known how to do that, but I just want to maybe share a little bit. Okay, we have heard two terminologies in this world. First is curriculum vitae, or abbreviated as CV, and then resume. And what are the difference? Well, the difference between the two is about the length. And there are several significant differences as well. For example, CV is a synopsis of your of what you have done so far, what you have already accomplished and achieved so far. But CV consists of several pages. It can be 2 or more pages, and it gives details of your achievements, your educational backgrounds, your accomplishments, your activities that you want to market, that you want to tell to the people. And what about the resume? The resume is a short synopsis of your life. So, for example, you just want to highlight about your educational attainment, your professional qualifications, and your achievements, but in a very short format. So usually, resume consists of only 1 or 2 pages. Now, you might be confused, which one is better? So, well, it depends on several factors. One, it depends on the request of company or schools that you are applying. For example, you are applying for a job upon your graduation from UITM or UP, and then the company or hospital that you're applying for is requesting you to submit a CV. Then of course you have to submit the CV. But if you are requested to submit a resume, of course, you have to prepare your resume and send them your resume instead of your CV. But I also want to highlight there are some differences. It depends on the country in which you are applying for. So for example, you're applying for a job or a school in the US. So usually for academic and scientific world, in the US, you are requested to submit your CV. So for example, you graduated from UITM and UP, and then you are applying for research graduate assistant or maybe master degree in the US. Then you have to submit your CV instead of your resume. And in the European Union, most of the jobs request you to submit your CV instead of your resume. But it depends on the request of the company, hospital, or other institutions, including schools request. Okay, now I would like to remind you again, so what is the CVs actually, and where does the terminology come from? The CV is the abbreviation of the Latin word curriculum vitae. So in most countries, people say it CV or vitae or curriculum vitae. And what is it? This is the course of your life, but of course you don't put that you are divorced there. You don't put that you failed in in your 7th grade or something like that. But of course, the best thing about you that you want to sell to the company or to the school that that are going to recruit you. So now there are 2 types of CVs. First is skilled focused CV, and the second one is work focused CV. Well, not many people say about the types of the CV. What we have known about the CV, we just put everything in detail to market ourselves, our professional backgrounds, our educational attainment, our accomplishments, our experiences, work, and everything. But actually, if you're talking about CV, CV is divided into 2. The first one is skilled focused CV, and the second one is work focused CV. So in the skill focused CV, we know that what you want to highlight is your skill. For example, you have a good communication skill, then you want to highlight this in your CV. And for example, you want to say that I'm a good negotiator. So you want to tell to your recruiter, to the school that you're applying for or a company that you are applying for, that you are a good negotiator. So you can highlight this in your CV. So based on the concept, the skill focused CV is useful for career changers. So for example, you were a nurse, but then you wanted to change your career. Maybe you wanted to be a teacher. Then of course, you have to highlight your skill instead of your work experiences. And school leaver, for example, you just graduated from your university and then you want to apply for a master's degree or PhD program somewhere, or you wanna apply for a research position and something like that, and then you can say that I am excellent in NVivo or SPSS or SAS applications and things like that. So you want to focus on your skill instead of your work experiences. And also people with gaps in work history. In America, this is very important to tell to the recruiter, to the school, to the company that you have missing gap in your research, in your career. For example, after graduation, you could not jump over to a job right away because you decided to get married and to have a baby first. But then for these 2 years, you sold something, like you marketed your products, you negotiated with people to buy your products, then you can use this style of CV to highlight your competencies and excellencies. And another one is work-focused CV. This is useful for showcasing your work experience. For example, you have a lengthy experience in an international organization, then you would like to highlight what positions that you have already assumed throughout those years. And you would like to progress to the next stage in your career. Maybe you were just, maybe at first you were teacher in a school, and then you want to go to the next level. Maybe you want to go to be a lecturer, then you could focus on highlighting your work experiences in your CV. I really hope that you get what I'm talking about. I will complete my presentation first. If you have any question, just write it down and ask me afterwards. Okay. Now we are going to know what to put in your CV, but the first one is, of course, name and contact details. I will elaborate more afterwards. And professional qualifications and education, technical, personal skills. Maybe you want to put your research interest as well if you are applying for graduate research assistants, and you want to highlight as well work community and volunteer experiences. Of course, there are great organizations out there who would love to recruit people with voluntary activities and experiences, and you would like to highlight your achievements and accomplishments. Of course, you want to market yourself, and this is very important to be put in your CV. And you want to show about your activities and job specific information. For example, you're applying for being a teacher, and you want to put about your thought about your teaching philosophy and everything about it. And what not to put in your CV? Well, before this, I would like to tell you that CV in a short description is a media to market yourself, to make the people who doesn't know you get impressed about who you are before meeting you. So you have to carefully choose what to put in your CV so that you can give them a good impression about yourself. So actually, there is no rigid format what to put in your CV. As long as it is marketing yourself, it gives good impression about you, then feel free to put it there. But be careful for several things. One, don't put a photo or images. But don't get me wrong, maybe some of you have already read or used Europass format, a format of CV issued by European Unions, and then there is a photo in there. But in American standards, usually people don't put any photo. Why? Because it will prevent subjectivity. Sometimes after looking at our picture, people judge the book from the cover. Oh, no, I'm not gonna hire her for my company because, sorry, maybe the recruiter will be thinking that she doesn't have a good look and she will not she will not be a good marketer in my company without giving you a chance to interview you first and then know you, your competence, your knowledge and everything. So most of the literature say that don't put your photo. Also, don't put any images. For example, your family picture or maybe your boyfriend picture. No, it is not necessary at all. So please leave it out. And second one is don't put colored or fancy fonts of design. Remember, you have to be professional in writing your CV. You are not elementary school students, which is interested in putting your paperwork in colorful in colorful way and so on. So be careful, don't use colored and fancy fonts of design. Just put one font, just choose one font, for example, Times New Roman, and then use it completely from the beginning to the end. And some of literature says that don't put your date of birth or age because it is not necessary. Don't put your marital status. We know that there are some CVs. I even always often see CVs that has marital status in there. Sometimes I just don't like to see that. For example, single or divorced or whatever, it's not really appropriate for professional CV. And then don't put your religion because it is a very sensitive case. And also don't put bank account details whatsoever until you are accepted by your employer, and then you are requested to do so. And then too much text and bad spelling. So for example, you're applying for master degree or a PhD program overseas. Please make sure that your CV is in good grammar and structure, because people will judge you that your English is bad, and they might be losing interest to call you for an interview or for another step. And too much a funny or rude email address. I suggest you, students, where you have to start now to create a good email address. So don't put, for example, I am so beautiful at gmail.com. So try to prevent that. Just put your name, so it will give you a formal email address, which is good to read. And then irrelevant experience or interest to the job. Don't put, for example, you are working, you're applying for a job. Let's say you want to be a teacher in a school, and then you say that you love watching TV whole day. Well, the recruiter, the school that you're applying for, might be thinking that you're not a good fit because you are spending a lot of time for watching TV and you're not going to read a book to prepare yourself to teach the students when you're accepted. So be careful with that. I know that some of you might be very proud of what you're doing, maybe proud of your hobby and your interest. But please consider if it is not relevant and will not support your application, then leave that. And don't ever lie about your experience and skills. Why? Because when you are already in the work field and then you are asked to do what you list in your CV, let's say that you say that I know how to do SPSS, but in fact, you don't know how to do that. And then you are working for a statistical company which needs that competency, then you're that. Okay, you might be fired, you might be you might be losing something like trust and something else, which is very important. So be careful with this. So now you have already known what to put and what not to put, but please feel free to put whatever that can sell you, that can market you, but in a good way. So now we are talking about what are the guidelines for preparing CV. The first one is, this is according to Purdue University. It should be flexible order of topics in a CV format. So there is no rigid format. For example, after the names, you want to put educational attainment first. And after that, you want to put your research interest. And after that, you want to put your work experiences. And after that, you want to put your publications. Feel free. Well, it depends on the institution that you're applying for or the job that you're applying for. So if you are applying for a research position, for example, you are going to do your master degree in the US, and you would like to apply for a scholarship through graduate research assistance, of course, research and publications and international conferences experiences should be highlighted first. So people will understand that you have the competency and then this position, and then you deserve this position. So it should be flexible order of the topics. So don't worry too much thinking about what should come first, okay? And the second one is sections to highlight strength. Please arrange sections to highlight strengths for the position you are applying for. So if you want to apply for a graduate research assistant, let's say in Harvard University, so put every strength that will make you understand that you are a good fit. You are the best potential candidate for that position available. And then try to elaborate on accomplishments and skills within categories. So for example, you have several skills to put. So don't just pour it in your CV, but try to arrange it under category and then try to elaborate a little bit about you and your accomplishment and skills about that. And list items within each category chronologically. What does it mean? It means you have to start with the newest work experience, the newest, the latest professional qualifications or education attainments. So if you just graduated from bachelor degree in UITM or UP, put it first. Don't put your elementary school first and then your junior high school, senior high school, and then you put UITM or UP in the very end. You have to put it in the very first line. And include additional headings when appropriate to reflect certifications, licensures, workshops, languages, achievements. So don't put it randomly over there. Just try to categorize that. So it will be a lot easier to people to read your CV. And I would like to let you know that CV, you know, when a recruiter, school, or a company read your CV, based on a lot of research, the CV is actually read less than 2 minutes. So it's just few minutes and they will scan your CV. If it looks good, they might be intrigued to look further, to read further. But if it's in the beginning, it doesn't impress them much, then believe me, they even will throw away the CV without looking at any further. My husband works for a company, and then his responsibility to interview people. So the very beginning, he looks for the CV is the great thing about the people. But when he doesn't see that, he even doesn't consider that anymore. So your CV is the first impression about yourself. So try to do the best with your CV, even though you know now, right? People will not take so much time to read your CV unless that's very interesting and attractive. Okay. And then present information in easily accessible and attractive style. But don't put any symbols and everything that will make your CV look informal. Okay, and here it is. Make your CV easy to read. A black, easy to read font in one size. Don't put 16 fonts and then 14, and then you are just mixing every font in your CV. Don't experiment with it. And use short sentences or compact sentences, which will make people easily understand what you're trying to write in your CV. And then try to put bullet points to list information so that they can identify that very easily. And then try to use formal tone instead of informal tone. So the CV is professional professional synopsis of your life, of your career, your background. So don't use funny or rude or offensive words in your CV. And please do not use any abbreviations. For example, one of my titles is CD in Indonesian, CDWCN. So try to to explain what it is. Don't put abbreviation, even slang or jargon. And do not put unnecessary images, as I told you before. Okay. Okay, a little bit about name and contact details. You can put your first and last name, but don't worry too much. I have students who ask me, I have only a word of name and I don't have the second word and the third word. Well, it happens. I don't know about you in Malaysia, but in Indonesia, that's very normal that we only have one word name, like Andi, that's all. So don't worry too much about that. Just put whatever name you have. Don't put everything else. And you can large and bold your name to make the people easy to know whose city is this. And then you can put your postal address, area code, phone numbers, and email address. And I suggest that if you put phone numbers, you include international phone code. For example, for Indonesia, it is +62, and then add your handphone or mobile numbers or phone numbers. And optional, you would like to put LinkedIn. So this LinkedIn is widely used now for company or schools who want to check about your career, your record, and everything. So, but make sure you put every good thing about you in your LinkedIn. Don't ruin your application just because your LinkedIn is messed up. And you would like to put your professional website as well. For example, you are managing a professional website. For example, you are interested in language and you are developing websites. You are gathering data, papers about languages from different countries, about the culture from different countries, and then you're organizing that. That's a good and positive thing. So don't be afraid to share it to the people, because it will give them additional insight about you, which is positive. And if you have a YouTube channeling, please share it. But don't forget, you have to consider whether it is appropriate to the school or institutions or companies that you are applying for. And about the skills, you can write everything. These are just examples. You can say that you have a driver's license if it is relevant with your application. For example, one is applying for being, for example, marketing, and then there is a requirement that this person has to have a driver license. So of course you have to put this information because it is relevant. In the language, for example, if it is relevant, and even it is not relevant, just put this one because it is very positive. The more you master the language, the better you will look in front of your interviewer or recruiter. And if you know the computer programs, even though you are not for example, informatics students, but you know about metaverse, you know about things like that, Python application, just put everything in it. Okay. And this is about the qualifications. You can put your certificates there. I mean, just write your the certificates that you receive, and then micro credentials, short work related courses. For example, you joined this Go Global, and if you think that it is relevant to be put in your CV that will market you, go ahead, just put it in your CV. And work-based training, courses, conferences, workshops, online courses, of course, they are positive. And you can put the qualifications, for example, name of the course, and then provider. For example, you take metaverse in Harvard University. There's something that you can be proud of. Just put it there, and then where you studied it, and then start and finish date. And achievement, of course, put everything in it, especially if you get the international ones. And the last one is, shall we sign CV? Well, based on some articles, it says that even though you don't sign your CV, it's already valid. But it's good if you sign your CV, hand signed, and put the date, and don't forget to revise your CV. So don't just write the CV and then put somewhere in your laptop, and whenever you're applying school and then you right away submit it. Try to read it and try to understand, to know which one is irrelevant with something that you're applying for, the job that you're applying for, the school that you're applying for, and try to update your CV. Some articles that I read said that try to revise every 2 years, but to me personally, it's really long. Sometimes only in 1 month we have done a lot of things, we have achieved a lot of things, so try to revise that regularly. And here is Europass. I don't know if you have already heard about this or not, but actually there is no specific format in every country when we are talking about CV, but you can use Europass. This is a standardized CV format issued by the European Commission in 1990s. So whenever you're applying for a school or a job in European countries, you can use this format. So I give you the link of writing a CV by using this Europass. So European Union is issuing the link for you to complete there, and then you just write complete, and then you can submit from their website, or you can print from that website, or you want to do it manually, that's fine too. There will be Europass CV template. Now I'm gonna show you. Do you see now my next slide? Do you see that, honey? Do you see it, honey? Do you see my new?
No, not yet.
Don't see that? Yes, you see that?
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet. Okay, let me stop share this. I hyperlink it, but it's okay. I will open it. Okay, here it is. I'm sharing manually. Oh, okay. So Europass. I don't know, maybe from Malaysia, most of you would love to go to UK since you are still in Commonwealth country, and then you're not in UK is not in European Union anymore, but maybe you want to go to Italy or the other countries in Europe, then you can use this format. So I mean, it's available for you. So don't think hard to write another format. Just use this format. It is called Europass. I will giving you the PowerPoint presentation so you can click this and you can find the website as well. So basically you can put your picture in Europass format, but please feel free, but try to use the professional one. And then here is the information that you have to complete, and try to complete as much as possible and as relevant as possible. Okay, it asks you about work experience, and then your education and training, personal skills. Even it asks you languages that you master, communication skills, organizational skills, job-related skills, computer skills, and other skills, driving license, and other information such as your publications, projects, and everything. So maybe if you are still studying now in second year or third year, you wanna prepare yourself based on what is widely requested when you're applying for advanced degree or a job in the near future. Okay, that's all from me. I really hope that it will benefit you. I really hope that I don't confuse you either. Thank you so much for having paid your attention. Sorry if there is any mistake. I haven't practiced my English. Maybe it's confusing you. Maybe I'm not using the right the right vocabularies for that. I really hope that you can understand. Thank you so much, Hani, and it gets back to you.
Well, thank you for the informative and interesting presentation, Ms. Nila. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to question and answer session. Please don't forget to mention your name. Yep, please. Any questions?
Honey, we have question in the chat box.
Okay. Yeah, good effort the speaker, admin, and the team for this good effort and knowledge sharing session globally. Just my humble request. Anyways, we could have the slide hands out.
Yes, of course. We will be sending this to Dr. Rafida, and then it will be uploaded to Google Classroom. Please don't forget to check your Google Classroom as usual after the presentation. You can find your assignment 2 there, and of course, these PowerPoint presentations.
Well, yeah, any questions from our students, maybe? Yeah, there is a question from Dr. Rafida. Is personal statement compulsory when applying a job? How is it different with CV and resume? Well, maybe our speaker can answer. Yes.
You wanna try to answer first, Ibu Dokter?
All right, Mrs. Ayu. Can you answer?
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I wanted to answer the question about what is the difference between CV and a personal statement. Okay, a personal statement is more of an essay about yourself, where when we write a personal statement, a good personal statement, we have to explain the reason for your choice and how it fit in your aspiration. So it's more than how to write, how to give a good description about yourself, about your ability, about your capability in that work. So it the personal statement more than how to give a good description about yourself.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Dr. Chitrayu. Now, maybe Mrs. Nila, you have another answer or maybe some opinions?
Yes, thank you for the question. It's very interesting. The first one is personal statement compulsory when applying for a job? No. So basically, personal statement is used only when you're applying for school. So, for example, you're applying for master degree, either in Europe or America. So basically, normally they will be not normally, but frequently they will be asking you to write down a personal statement, motivation letter, and also your CV. So for a job, no, not necessarily. But please keep in mind that there are actually several formats of CV, and even in CV, you can write down a little bit about your personal statement, but just a short one, a brief version of the personal statement. But personal statement is quite long, maybe 1 page or 2 pages. But for the CV, it's just several sentences, like 2 or 3 sentences to describe about yourself. Why do you have to get this job? But many CV formats do not require you to put personal statement. But if we are talking about personal statement itself, usually you don't use this to apply for a job, only for a school like master degree or doctoral degree. That's where the university can assess who you are. And how is it different with CV and resume? The difference is the length of the CV and resume. The Zip CV lists in detail all your educational attainments, your professional qualifications, your achievements. And but you put it in a lengthy way, you put it in detail, and it can take you like 2 pages even more. But resume, it just consists of 1 page or 2 pages only. The longest is 2 pages only, but it highlights the best thing of you. Like you put it in very short, your educational attainment, your work experiences, only several categories. So you don't need to put in detail everything on your resume. So the difference is laid on the length of the CV and resume, the numbers of pages, and the amount of information you put in your CV and resume. I want to repeat it again. CV can take you 2 pages or more, and resume can take you only 1 or 2 pages. That's all.
Thank you, Nila. We also have another question from our participant, from Arnida from UITM. The question is, can we use colored papers for the CV? Thank you.
Thank you, Norshida, for your question. Well, it's interesting too, but I suggest that you only use white paper, plain paper, no color, no motifs of the paper. If you are submitting your the CV online, then if you use color paper, I'm scared that, especially when you scanned it, I'm afraid that it will not be interesting enough. So just use white paper instead of colored paper. And don't use like blue paper, green paper, red paper. That's really terrible. So please no, just use white paper. That's my suggestion. And I never seen that people use blue paper, green one, red one, yellow, or something like that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for your explanation, Ms. Nila. Okay, is there any question for our from our participants? No, I think it's enough. Yep. Now we come to another session, photo session. So, everyone, could you please on your camera, please?
Bentar lagi. Bentar lagi.
For all participants, could you please on your camera? Okay, thank you very much.
Udah mau selesai dah. Udah, belum foto dulu.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we start and I'll count 1, 2, 3. Yeah, one more. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end part of our activity today. We would like to thank our speakers, Mrs. Nila and Mr. Dr. Chitrayu, for the informative and interesting talk, and also the participants for active participation. Hopefully, today's activity will be beneficial for everyone here. I'm Hanis Haris, sincerely apologize if there is any mistake in moderating this activity. Finally, I say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr.
Waalaikumsalam.
Dr. Rafida.
Everyone.
Okay, thank you so
By
much,
the way,
Nila, Miss
Dr.
Ayu.
Nila and
Yes.
Miss Ayu.
Yeah, thank you.
What about the task for the students? Any task for this webinar for our students, or you're going to give it later for them?
Yes, we are going to give it later after the second session
Second
from UP.
webinar.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Dr.
so
Sheha,
much.
Dr. Rafida, Dr. Sharon.
Okay, thank you again.
Okay.
Everything.
Thank you.
So talk to you later.
See you later.
Assalamualaikum.
Take care.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Bye.
wabarakatuh. You too.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye for now.
Ya,